As I've been doing these lessons, you may have noticed that I keep this menu in the bottom corner, the Pathfinder menu. And when I first started working in Adobe Illustrator, my coworker at the time always had the Pathfinder menu up. And to this day, I set up my workspace like this. Even if a left-handed menu is too distracting for you and you prefer to keep everything on the right, just be sure that your Pathfinder window is handy, because I use these functions all the time. These are some of my most used functions, and it's so easy to have the menu ready. I like to have my shapes pretty clean, and if I make something that could be one shape like this, I might draw it this way because it's easier, but then when I hand it into a client, or if it's for my own portfolio, I want to unite them. By doing that, it kind of changed the layers. So I'm going to ungroup for a second, and that might happen to you. So you're going to ungroup, you're going to select all this stuff, and then arrange send to back. So that's going to fix everything. But now I have one neat shape for this bunny. The other time I use it a lot is just like I was showing you in the last lesson. If I make an outline stroke, by the way, side lesson, if you see this, if you outline a stroke and you get these crazy jagged things, go to stroke, go to rounded corners, and that's going to fix it, okay? This corner stroke menu. But so if I made this thicker, just kind of like I did in my last lesson, I would object, path, outline stroke, right? Just like I did. But what I didn't show you is if you want to make it all one piece, you click this Pathfinder group and it's all together. The other function that I use is the subtract. I might use this when I'm taking something and I want to cut through it. So now this is a cut shape. So like if it was in front of something, like if you had something drawn inside, like a Christmas tree inside the house, you could see right into it. And it's easy to do by just selecting whatever's on top and cutting through. So I use that a lot as well. And the final Pathfinder that I use is this divide. So one technique I use a lot in my designs is the kind of multiply look, the overlaying transparency. I love that look. So I have this gumdrop on top and the opacity is at multiply. If it was at normal, you wouldn't see behind, but I put it to multiply because I love this look. And in this case, I have it on multiply, but because the pink is, a tone of red, you can't see any difference. So in this case, what I would do is I would click divide. Again, I'm going to send this all the way to the back. So anyways, now I have this spot cut out. And now I can make it an exact color. So I can kind of do a red that's in between. Or I guess it would be brighter, a hot pink. And now I can see that and it looks just as fun and cool as this one does. So that is what I use the Pathfinder for. As you can see, I have a couple other menus down here: Align, Transform, and Magic Wand. I find those to be all really useful, but Pathfinder, I am constantly uniting shapes and subtracting shapes.